about to cry after that from Braden, but I'm just so honored, you guys, to be on here and be talking to you. I remember whenever it was like my first couple of calls, and I would be like, I just dream of one day being able to like talk to everyone. And I did not know that it would be within 11 months. So I'm just so honored. And I hope that, if you guys can take away anything from this, that would just mean the world to me. But I just kind of want to start out by saying my story, because it's definitely been an interesting one for sure. And I actually was approached for about 2 years, honestly, about Arbonne. There was a girl that went to my college, and I was like, oh my God, will this girl just get out of my DMs? And I would see her in the gym, and I would like, I really don't know what I'm doing in the gym to begin with, but I would like run and hide and pretend to be doing something else and like, just leave me alone. So I don't know if you guys have seen my post recently about whenever we did qual for RVP. I posted my message of what I said to her in November of last year. I think it was like November 19th, but she messaged me and I was just like, sorry, girl, like, I don't think that's going to be able to fit in my budget this month. And, like, little did I know, guys, 11 months from me just making up whatever excuse I could come up with that I would be promoting for RVP. Like, oh my gosh, I can't even, it's still so crazy. So a little bit about my journey. So it was around December, and I remember I am a dancer in New York City, and that is one of my biggest passions in the world, to dance, but unfortunately it's not the highest paying career. So most dancers have plenty of other side jobs. And I was just dealing, you guys, with like such extreme, like low anxiety, depression, like just not feeling good. And I remember the day specifically that I had an audition, and it was an audition that like I had in the pocket. I felt like I could do it, and I woke up and I just felt like crap about myself. Like I just didn't want to go. I didn't want to go in front of a panel of judges and be judged by other people when I felt like crap. And I remember going on Instagram and seeing Lexi Fantaski's story about her and her little 2-piece workout set. And she's like, oh my gosh, no bloat. I feel so great. And I just was like, yeah, good for you, Lexi. So I decided to jump in all honesty, like I had no idea what I was jumping into. I'm like, yep. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. So I remember getting like a very angry phone call from my dad. He can see my bank account because I had barely any money to my name. And he was like, did you just spend $300 on like Airborne? And I was like, no, Dad, it's Arbonne, and I'm starting my own business. And he's like, how are you going to pay your rent? I'm like, I'll figure it out. Like I really, guys, I had no idea what I was doing. And I was working well over 6 jobs. I was waitressing in the Upper East Side of Manhattan, waitressing in the theater district. I was walking dogs. I was teaching dance 2 hours from my apartment. Like anything I could do for money, I was doing it. And it was just like this endless circle. So when I first signed up, you guys, I was so lukewarm. And when I say that I had no idea what I was doing, like I had no idea what I was doing. So I would take this message of everything that you shouldn't be doing, right? I had about 25 paragraphs, like realistically probably 8 or 9. And I would just copy paste it to 100 million people. And I was like, Lexi, I don't really think this business works. Like I'm really trying here, and I really didn't understand. But, I was really lucky that I got to district early on. And you guys, I had no idea how I got to district. I think like my close friends and family were just being very generous and nice to me, because it was a couple months into my business. I went district in January, and I really, like I said, I had no idea how I got there. And actually in January, when I was a district, I was working 6 jobs, like I said, and doing Arbonne, and I actually had to call home. And it was so humiliating. I had to say to my parents that I wasn't making my rent and I needed help. And I was humiliated. Like to ask my parents for money after all they had done for me was just embarrassing to me, I guess. And I just really needed help. And unfortunately they helped me and whatnot. But fast forward a few months, like come April, I still was treating this like a hobby, guys. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I would give 20, 30 minutes here and there, and it was paying me like a hobby. So it was April, and I texted Braden and I said, could you do a call for me this weekend? And she said, girl, that's GTC. I can't. And I was like, what the heck is GTC? I had no idea, you guys. I was like, and I thought that I should know. So I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot. Like, thanks anyways. And meanwhile, I'm like, I have no idea what this is. So I started to, like really watch her journey and watch everyone else's, and Kat and Peyton and everybody. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I just started to see the vision. Why can't I do this? Like, why can't this be for me? So around May, I had a job with a social media agency in New York, and I called Braden. It was like 10 or 11 in the morning. And I was like, I just want to let you know that I barely have any money in my bank account. I have like a $1,500 rent to pay, and I just quit my job. She's like, wait, what do you mean? I was like, I quit my job. Like, you guys say leap of faith. We have to take a leap of faith. I'm taking the leap of faith. Like, if this is going to work for me, it's going to work for me. So I did whatever I could. You guys, I did not have the funds, but I had more faith and fear. And I saw that this is working for other people. And as long as I worked, it was going to work for me. So fast forward to June, I was about to close for area. And you guys, in the morning, it was not looking likely. We had about 3,510 QB to go. And my team and I talked all day, and it just wasn't looking like it was going to happen. But something switched in my mind. And I decided, like, my mom even texted me that morning, next month, sweetie, like, really work for it. And I was like, you know what? No. I'm doing this, and I'm doing it now, and I'm doing whatever it takes. So I woke up at 6 a.m. If you were in Dallas, you heard this story. I literally forgot that I had like no bra on, you guys. I had my slippers on. I went to some cafe. I poured 4 fizz sticks in my cup, and I was like, no matter what it takes, I'm not taking no for an answer. I am becoming an area no matter what. So I woke up at 6 a.m. and started at 11:38 on the dot. I became an area manager. And you guys, the only decision was that it wasn't an if it was going to happen. Oh, if I hope I do this, if it's going to happen. No, it was, I'm doing it. How am I going to do this? What am I going to do? So it was really crazy because all I wanted was to be an area manager. You know, that was my dream. And as soon as I became an area, I felt like on top of the world, but I wasn't satisfied. I was like, you know what? No, we're made for more. We're made for more. So fast forward, the beginning of this month, Braden just texted me and she said, have you decided? And I was like, what the heck does she mean? I texted her, I was like, did one of your texts not send? Like, did I decide what? She's like, have you decided? And I soon began to know what she meant. You know, have you decided that this is the month? And honestly, in the beginning of the month, you guys, I really didn't. I just thought that I was going for another bonusing area month. I thought that we would make our way there at some point. And as the month went on, you know, I realized there is no right time. There is go. This is it. God's telling you, no, I'm deciding, and it's going to happen. And I know that I have the most incredible team, and I have the most incredible people that I want to get them to their goals. So most importantly, going off that, I didn't decide, oh, I want to be a regional vice president. I looked at the team that I have, and I'm like, these people are so worthy. They're so deserving. They have so much potential. I want them to reach their goals, and in return, we will be a region. So I stopped making it about, oh, I want to be an area. I want to be a region. It was about my team. I want these people to be at their, fullest potential. I want them to reach their goals. Like, I want nothing more than to hand keys. Honestly, guys, more than I want to get my own keys, because that's what this business is all about, right? So we did it, you guys. I remember the week of, I called my parents. I'm like, we're at like 34,000, and they're like, oh, okay. And that's a big gap. And I'm like, you know what? No, like, I'll prove you wrong once again. They said the same thing with area. It's not that they don't believe in me, but people see it realistically. Like, that's a lot. That's a big number. That's a lot of sales. And, we see it as we have faith, we have belief, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get there. So, the moral of, my story, I think, is that I joined Arbonne, you guys, to pay for my dance career and to really support my income as a dancer, what I've done for over 20 years. And like, I could cry saying this. I probably will. I'll be shocked if I don't. But I've decided that in the next 2 years, I'm retiring dance, because nothing has ever made me feel this way. Like, I've never had a passion as big as I do for Arbonne. Oh, here comes tears. But, like, I love dance, but helping people and changing lives and being able to do it with people that are like my family now, like, nothing compares to that. So I know, like, the biggest question with people, and like my question when I'm watching people's stories, is like, what was your switch? So this might be things that you've heard before, but kind of what everyone says, like, if you've heard this before, that means that it's true. So I made up my mind. I made up my mind that we are doing it no matter what. So my favorite story is Braden texted me one time and said, you need 1,000 QV in the next few days. And I don't even remember the qualification, guys. I just remember Braden telling me to get 1,000 QV. And I remember sitting on my boyfriend's couch at his parents' house, and I was like, you know what? No one in the history of Arbonne has ever gotten 1,000 QV in like a couple of days. Like, this woman's insane. And you guys, nothing has changed. I'm not a different person. I've grown as a person, but nothing's different. Every month, you guys, I get around 10,000 personal QV. And I'm not saying that to say, woe is me, or, oh, I'm so great, I'm so this. It's that I'm not talented, I'm not lucky, but I work hard and I know that this is what I want. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. And I'm not relying, as much as I love my team and I have faith in them, I'm never going to rely on them for what I want for my success. So I stopped letting my excuses determine my success. You know, something's always going to happen in life. We're always going to have hardships. We're always going to be busy. Something bad's always going to happen. I mean, unfortunately, that's life. But it comes down to one thing at the end of the day, like, how bad do you want it? You know, if you want this to be a hobby, it's going to be a hobby, and that's fine. I'm not talking bad about someone that, you know, wants this to be a side job, an extra $200, $300. Like, good for you. That is amazing. But how bad do you want a life by design? Do you want financial freedom? Do you want to change the life of others? You know, and as soon as you make up your mind, nothing in this world will stop you. And there's nothing that can stop you from reaching those goals. So decide that you're doing it, say it out loud, write it on your bathroom mirror, whatever you need to do, but decide that nothing, no one, no opinion is going to stop you. And something that, you know, took me a while to realize is that if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. There would be a million NVPs, there would be a million RVPs. And the reason that, you know, of course, I think everyone is special and great and whatever, but there's nothing special in the sense that they had any luck or they had any advantage, you guys. They just decided that they were going to do what it takes to get there. And if we want to get there, you know, we have to sacrifice. And I know for me, like, I don't want to, you know, say anything bad about a 9-to-5 or corporate America, but I decided for me that I'm not meant to be average. I'm not meant to have an average job. I'm not meant to have an average paycheck. You know, I'm made for way more than average, but no one's just going to hand that to me. You know, I have to create that life for myself. And if we want to have an above average life, you know, a life by design, as we like to say, then we have to create that for ourselves. So what that comes with, of course, is it does come with some sacrifice. And I know you guys have heard this before, but short-term sacrifice for long-term reward. So I know this might sound so super silly to everyone, but I actually heard Rosie Crombie say this on a training and I was like, this kind of sounds silly, but it happened to me this month. So when we were going region qual, I looked down, my nails were like 2 weeks from being filled. My roots are still down to like here. I had caterpillars as eyebrows, like everything. And I'm like, I'm not kidding. I'm gonna have to go get my lashes filled this week and they're gonna make me buy a new set because they're so empty. But I don't care. Like, I didn't care. That's not what was important to me. And, you know, my poor boyfriend took me the first 2 days of this month to go. We went out one night and celebrated. Then we went to an apple picking farm and I said, okay, those were your 2 days. I'll see you in December, you know, like, and I know that it sucks in a sense, sacrificing, but it doesn't, because it's fun, it's worth it, and it's going to pay off in the long run. Like I said, short-term sacrifice for long-term rewards. So, you know, if you want to be able to have that leniency and have that freedom, we have to give up some things now. And that means, you know, not going out with your friends sometimes and staying in to read that book and maybe staying up an extra 20, 30 minutes after you're exhausted because you didn't finish your reach outs for the day. You know, it's worth it. Like, it's so worth it. And in the time, it might not seem like it, but I promise you that it is. So going into something I want to talk on briefly is the power of duplication. So I want to talk on this because I know we talk about it all the time, but for me, you guys, like, I didn't get this. I thought that I was Superwoman. I went district by myself, almost area by myself. You know, I thought that, oh, I can do this. I don't need anybody, you know, to do this with me. But hey, how selfish is that? How selfish is that to say that this is changing my life? This is such a great gift to me. Why wouldn't I want to share this with others? You know, when I look at the people on my team and I get a text from them saying like, you know, this is lighting up my life. This is lighting up my world. It's like, oh my gosh, I was able to give that to you. And for so long, I didn't give that to anybody. I kept it all for myself. And that is so selfish. One of my favorite quotes, I have it written on my window right here, is what if you would do if you were 10 times bolder and share this gift to other people? So I know you guys have heard this too, but the number one reason that people don't join a network marketing business is because they are not asked. So I always say, like, for me, if someone says, what is your job as an Arbonne consultant? There are people that are sitting on their bedroom floor or whatever, praying for an opportunity like this. And it's for 3 reasons, one of 3. They're either looking to regain their health, they're looking for financial freedom, or maybe they need a community of women/men that are going to build them up every single day. One of those 3 reasons. And when you take on the job as an independent consultant, your job is to find those people. And our job is to help them and take them in and help them create a better life for themselves. And when we say there aren't enough people in this world, I think of those people that are sitting there praying. And I'm like, you know what? No, I will find them no matter what. So something funny about that, I remember thinking of, I ran out of people. I'll text my mom and say, send me 50 contacts. Or I'll say, send me all the emails that you have for Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania. Or I'll text people and say, can you just send me half your contacts? I don't know, really quickly. Like, I'll say you're a reference. Like, you guys, yes, I might sound crazy. Like, I think I talked about this in Dallas, but I've never, actually recently touched a Peloton for the first time, but I joined a Peloton group. And I messaged everyone. I was like, hey, I'm looking to get healthy. Figured that you guys would be able to help me out. Meanwhile, I'm like, what is a Peloton? Oh my gosh. But the last thing I want to say with that is that don't assume that someone is interested. So I want to share a story that I kind of like a hard lesson learned is there's a woman, her name's Jeanette Coda. Her daughter is Ava. She was on Dance Moms. She grew at fame from there, and then she grew into acting, and she recently just got a new movie on Netflix that is like rated, I think it's like the top 3 movies right now on Netflix. And I knew her from dance, and her mom and I are super, super close. And I remember thinking of Jeanette, her mom, and being like, oh, she would be so great on my team. Like, I would just love her. And I'm like, who am I kidding? She's famous. She has this many million followers. She would never want to be on my team. You guys, she messaged me about a month after I said that. And she's like, hey, I just want to let you know I love your Arbonne stories. There's a girl from my dance studio that did it, so I joined her team. I hope we can talk about it soon. And I was sitting there like, lesson learned, how selfish of me to not give this gift to her a month sooner. And now it's like she's doing wonderful things, and I'm happy she's blessing someone else's team, but at the same time. So moving on, the next topic that I want to talk about is shopping at your own store. So this is something that was a huge realization for me. I always thought that, you guys, like in the beginning of Arbonne, the reason I thought this was so impossible is I thought you had to find new people every single month, and you had to find X amount of QV every month from a new person. And a residual income, if you don't know what that is, you're in that business, and it's such a beautiful thing. So when we think about like shopping at a different store, or just shopping in general, like our job, aside from what I already said, finding people that are praying for this opportunity, is to replace the things you're already purchasing for Arbonne's products, basically redirecting what you're already spending. So when you think about what you're buying on a daily basis, toothpaste, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, all that stuff, you guys were already spending that money. Why would we shop anywhere else? I said this example the other day. Imagine that you owned a paint shop and you're, painting your living room wall, and you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to go down the street to the other paint shop. I'm going to pick up some of theirs. I'll be right back. It makes literally no sense. You have all of those things in your own store. Why would you shop anywhere else? And I'm talking about anything, literally anything, your candles, your headband, whatever it is. So you're going to get the biggest discount that you could get, 35 to 50% off. You're getting paid to shop at your own store. And if you're not district yet, then you're working your way there, and you're going to get paid from your own store. You're getting the best of the best. Obviously, we know that Arbonne is the best of the best, or we wouldn't be on this call. You're becoming a product of the product, and you're having more to share with other people. So imagine, you guys, if you taught others how to do the same. Imagine if you even taught 10 people how to redirect all of their current spending to Arbonne. Whether that's a family member, a friend, a cousin, a neighbor, whoever. Imagine if you taught 10 people to just buy their toothpaste. Think of that residual income each and every month. So the last thing I want to say about that is that when every single time that something comes out, you guys, a clean swap box, a Ready in 5, I totally understand financial situations, but why wouldn't we want to have that? If I'm saying to someone, you should buy the Ready in 5, and they're like, well, how do you like the CC cream? I'm like, oh, sorry, never tried it. So think of it this way. Say you're like, I don't have the finances to buy that. I totally get that, you guys. I was, like I said, not making my rent in New York City. So think of, okay, how many 30 days healthy living kits is it going to take for me to gain that financial freedom to be able to buy that clean swap box? So say that's, I'm doing the math in my head, 3 30 days healthy living kits. Okay, now I'm going to be able to get the clean swap box, share this with other people, and I got 900 something QV. it's a win-win in all situations. So the beauty of this quarter, and this is my first quarter, holiday quarter with Arbonne, so I'm super excited, but it's the biggest year or biggest quarter of the year because of this reason. So I just experienced this in the past couple of weeks. You know, I called my mom and I was like, hey, random question, but like, how much do you usually spend on your holiday shopping, and who do you usually buy for? And she's like, well, my sorority sisters, your aunts, my goddaughter, this is this. I'm like, well, what would you think about, you know, shopping from my store this year? Like, you know, you'll still get amazing gifts, but would you shop from me instead of TJ Maxx, Target, whatever? And so she did. And guys, she actually ended up saving like $200 from what she usually spends. And it was over 1,000 QV. And now I get to reach out to all of those people after they receive their Christmas gifts and ask them what they thought of Arbonne. Do you want to try anything new? That's how many new prospective clients because of that. For me, my Christmas shopping, I just wrote down my list, 878 QB. So imagine if you asked your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, your neighbor, your roommate, whoever, if they would support your store and do their Christmas shopping from you. Imagine if you had 10 people do that, you know, that could be qualifying for area alone. So I know for me, every single person that I know is getting Arbonne for Christmas, and not just because, oh, I want to shop in my own store, but I want to share this gift with everybody. And that is just a new opportunity for prospective clients and even consultants in the future. So I wanted to go through the last thing I really wanted to, you know, share with you guys is just some income producing activities for November and how to really take advantage of this time. I came up with just a few that I've done so far this month. So one thing is sample packets. I know this is something we all hear about, but I know I really didn't take advantage of this until this month. Putting an individual protein, a fizzy, a digestion, and mailing it out to 10 people that maybe are on your dream team or people that want to jump into Arbonne but are super hesitant, and saying, you know what, I trust in these products so much that I know when you try them, you're going to fall in love and you're going to jump on board completely. Actually, guys, this next one was something I was so terrified to do. I texted Kat and Braden and I was like, please tell me if I'm weird. Is this so crazy? I bought those little favor bags that you get at like bridal showers and whatnot. And I put in a fizzy, a hydration, and a letter. And I went door to door in my building in New York and left it on the door. And I'm mailing a box tomorrow for my mom to go door to door in my neighborhood in Pittsburgh, you know, and with a little note saying like, will you do your holiday shopping for me? You know, I'd love your support. Like, I can give the biggest discount, blah, 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 blah. The next thing that I did, I ordered the I Want It All set, of course, if you haven't, you know, shopping from your own store, and we're getting the mini holiday set. And I took a holiday catalog and put a gift in there. And I wrote a personalized letter to each person saying, you know, your support means the world to me. And I would love to help you with your early holiday shopping. And literally I put early in parentheses, November holiday shopping before this all sells out. And it would just mean the world to me if you shop from my store this year. And the last thing is a product lookbook, the same thing, a mini gift, a fizz, something, and a personalized letter. So it's with each and everything that I mailed out, I wrote a letter to that person on, you know, how much I appreciate their support, how much I would love for them to support my business. And then I also had a typed out letter that I sent everyone with all the deals going on with Arbonne right now and why they don't want to miss out about this and how passionate I am about that. Passion behind it, you know, makes everything. So on top of that, like we already said, do your personal holiday shopping at Arbonne this month before it sells out. Like I said, this is my first holiday with Arbonne, but I've been told that this all sells out really quickly. So it's probably going to be gone super soon and you want to take advantage of it and keep track of every single person that is getting a gift from Arbonne, because then you can reach out to them. And like I said, they can be a prospective client or consultant. I ordered business cards this week from the boutique. I got this idea from Kristen Rutley. She's in a different nation. She's amazing. Every single time she goes out to eat, she takes a business card and a fizz stick and she has it stapled together and she leaves it with her receipt. She goes out for drinks at the bar, she gives it to them. A barista at Starbucks, she gives it to them. And also go to a Starbucks, go to a coffee shop, I can't talk, and leave your business cards everywhere. You know, leave this opportunity for every single person to find. Set up your dream team calls. This is something, you know, you guys all know. And the last thing that I want to say is, you know, ask for help. Tell people that you want their support. Tell people that it means the world to you if they would support you. I was so afraid to do that. It took Maddie saying that to me. And, you know, I called some of my aunts, my uncles, and I said, you know, it would just mean so much to me if you would support me. I'm going for such a big goal and this is my dream and it means so much to me. And I'm so passionate about sharing this with you. and people want to help you. I think that's something that we're very scared to do. So what I want to, end this on is some of my favorite affirmations that I have written on my window right now, that really, changed my mindset and changed my life this month. So there's a decent amount of them. So other people's opinions are not your business. I do not have what it takes to quit. Activity solves everything. Everything. Your journey is your journey. Turn every excuse into a reason why. Sacrifice what you want, or what you want becomes the sacrifice. Stop thinking so much about how and just do it. This is my favorite one. I'm going to elaborate for a second. Take trying out of your vocabulary. My favorite thing is when Cecilia Stoll was like, I was so confused when she was talking about this, and now I get it so much. If you have a newborn, are you going to look at your newborn baby and be like, I'm going to try so hard to keep them alive. I'm going to try so hard to feed them breakfast. I'm going to try so hard. No, you guys, you're just going to do it. So when someone says to me, I'm going to try, I'm hoping for it. I'm really hoping for it this month. We almost know that's not going to happen. It's that decided mind. Stop trying and just do it. I know that sounds a little harsh, but when it clicks in your head, it makes so much sense. If you were doing enough, you would be there. That's a little harsh too, but that really hit home for me. Being timid is being selfish. What would you do if you were 10 times bolder? Success is not convenient. The first step to leadership is leading yourself. And where activity goes, QV will follow. And the last thing is love your journey. I'm going to leave this on kind of like a funny note. I don't know when this was, like 2 months ago maybe. And I called Braden and Maddie when they were at Cecilia's retreat, and I was on a boat. It was like this party on a boat, and I couldn't even party on the boat because I was so upset. I called them and I FaceTimed them and I started crying, and I was like, I just want to be a VP so bad. And I was so upset, and you guys, they just were like, you need to appreciate where you're at. And I'm like, you know what? I really need to appreciate where I'm at. I need to be so grateful. I'm an area manager. How cool is that I've affected that many lives? I've got to change that many lives. So appreciate where you're at, love your journey, but, don't be content, don't be complacent, and always just make your dreams scare you. Make your dreams absolutely terrifying to you. Like right now in my head, we're going for nation, which kind of makes me want to like scream and cry. But at the same time, like how exciting is that? So I just want to say thank you guys so much for letting me ramble your ear off for like, I don't know how long I went. I might have went over time. I really didn't pay attention, but it's such an honor for me to be on this call. And yeah, I just hope everyone has a great month.
Can I end it? Okay, Liz, I'm like over here in my notebook sitting here, and she sent me her notes earlier, but I still like to write them down. But I'm so proud of you. I love hearing from you. You have a heart of gold. You're going to blow past region and just go straight to MVP. But y'all, I just want to end this to show y'all, Liz is an amazing person. She has such an incredible work ethic. But y'all, she's no different than anybody on this call. We all have what it takes. It's just, are you going to do what it takes? That's all it is. And y'all, the work is not hard. It is so much fun. And if you, like she said, ask for help. Nobody's business, no other people's opinion of you is any of your business, because it's not. We're in this business to love other people and to serve other people. And Liz and Logan both realize, like, yeah, this is what it's about. It's about other people. It's not about me. I'm going to work my tail off and help every single person that I can. And so I just know that every single person on this call has exactly what it takes to lead a team call like Liz just did. But Liz, you killed it. I hope, Kat, I don't know if you want to end it, but like, Liz, you fired me up. I'm so proud of you.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Liz, for doing that, because you seriously have, you and Logan both agreed to do calls this month, and it doesn't just benefit your team, you're benefiting people that aren't even in your business. So that is so selfless of you guys. But yeah, I just am beyond excited. I hope that we have so many more people going to area call, finish area, and region call this month, because it's so possible. 3 out of the 3, actually, yeah, Braden, Madeline, and Hannah all qualified for region as a district manager. So are you guys district managers or area managers on this call that are thinking like maybe region is so far-fetched? Because I'm telling you it's not. Like 3 of them did it and they're normal. They're normal people. So I'm excited for Liz and Logan to both finish out region this month, and so many other promotions that are happening. Like all those people in Culver District, we want to have like the longest list ever of new district managers. So I love you guys, and we will see you on our call next week. Braden's actually going to do it, and it's going to be a really good one. So I will send you guys the recording.